Do you know the difference between a cloak and a cape? What's the difference between a cloak and a cape? My name is Duane, and for over 40 years, I struggled with stuttering, stammering, speaking too fast, choppy speech, getting stuck and blocking on words, forcing out words, and not to mention the psychological and mental and emotional impacts that if you deal with those things, you know what I'm speaking of, how that impacts your life, how it impacts your decisions and your choices on a moment-to-moment basis. I began working on my speech using the Pro90d speech program, and within a couple of weeks, I noticed a dramatic improvement. I continued to work in the self-study program, and I also began doing a lot of the exercises and taking opportunities to talk to people to such a degree that I became a very confident speaker. I began to get raises at work at a higher degree than I had in the past. I began to get a promotion or promotions at work. I even went out and was able to get a higher paying job. And mainly because my speech allowed me to convey exactly what was on my mind to the audience that I was speaking to. Whenever I talked about a few moments ago, the cloak, that cloak for me felt like a heavy blanket, like a weight. And if you've ever had to go through a day where you're just having problems with your speech and you're trying to maneuver around words and figure out what to say and how much to say, when to stop, when to start, you know, at the end of the day, that can have an extreme impact on your psyche. It can weigh you down. It can fatigue you. But now my speech is my superpower, or one of my superpowers. My speech is a superpower, and we all know that oftentimes superheroes wear capes. And that's where I use the analogy, my cloak is now my cape. My cloak is now my cape, and I can use my speech to communicate with anyone in any situation. It doesn't mean that I'm perfect. No one's speech is perfect. But using the Pro90d speech system, I've become an excellent speaker. No longer focusing on blocking, stuttering, stammering, choppy speech, but bringing value to every conversation and making sure that my points are relevant. I can articulate myself and my thoughts and speak and converse with people without a fear of being judged or without the fear of thinking that I'm not presenting myself in the best manner. Throughout, whether middle school, high school, college, graduate school, I didn't have that. I didn't have that level of confidence on a consistent basis. The Pro90d speech program works because it's how you work. The science of the system works. As I got into the program and noticed results, I began to think about, if the self-study works so well, how much better would I speak if I enrolled in the one-on-one coaching with Michael Williams? I did enroll in the one-on-one coaching with Michael Williams, and my speech went to an even higher level. I began to have a greater sense of confidence. And remember, we're moving from the cloak to the cape, but there are higher levels that you can always ascend to. So working with Michael Williams for the length of time that he and I worked helped me to figure out the blind spots, the little small things in my speech, the little things that I probably would never notice, things that I hear in other people's speech, but things that I've been able to work on and correct to help make me an even better speaker. So now I have more confidence. And that's what you probably want if you struggle with stuttering and stammering. And not only has the confidence increased in my speaking and my ability to communicate, not only have I, again, been able to achieve success professionally, the most important thing is that I'm now able to have those longer, deeper, richer conversations with family members, like my mom. I speak to my mom all the time now. We spoke before, but there would just be times whenever I would be so worn down that I would cut the conversations a little bit shorter than I wanted to. But because I had that mental weight, that physical draining of my emotions and my energy, because I had spent the whole day maneuvering around words. But now I don't have that. So I have all the energy in the world now to converse with people. And I have the skills and the ability to understand what excellent speech is. And that's because of working with Michael Williams. I highly encourage you, if you want to make your speech your superpower, if you don't want to feel that heaviness in that cloak, either enroll in the self-study program or for faster results, work with Michael Williams one-on-one. I pray that you all receive this and understand that your life can be dramatically better in a short amount of time if you work within the Pro90d speech program. I wish you all the very best. Thank you.